Frankly, I enjoy talking about weed. I like smoking weed. I like living it. So,
well, if you want to enjoy talking about marijuana and hit up Mike, ask him any questions you might have. Mike, how do they get a hold of you?
You can do it any way you want. I'm on Twitter at Michael B. Cath. I'm on Instagram at a ridiculous name, which is at Big Fudge Mike. You can find me on Facebook.
He said you can get at him any way you want, but Big Fudge Mike is the way to do it.
Hold on, Bubba named him that.
Coming to you live and uncensored. This is the Hype Podcast. I'm Oh So Fresh with my co-host, yet to be named.
That's me. We talk about everything from new gadgets, gizmos, politics, movies, and music.
And our very own personal stories, because you know a motherfucker has to keep it real.
Okay. This motherfucker never yells action. Hey, this is the Hype Podcast. I am DJ Oh So Fresh.
I am the host with no name.
This is
coming to you live from Vegas.
Whoa, sorry, I cut in. You didn't say you had. You didn't say you had an extended name this week.
Yeah. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
I mean, you guys see, you got like AKA Biggie Smalls,
AKA a pimp named Slickback.
Yeah, AKA Chris from Around Block. You know, but I got my cousin Siobhan here. Yeah, because I seen you brought your cousin in. I could bring mine in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're battle of the families now. Is that what's going on? And you saw how long Champagne Jane lasted.
Oh,
come on now.
Champagne Jane got her name during the show.
Oh.
That's how it works in radio. Like, somebody has to give you a name. You don't just...
I can't name myself.
Actually, I did name myself. Fuck them. But usually in radio, you're working one day and somebody goes, that's your name.
What?
It's like being born. When you're born, you don't pick your own name. Same thing in radio. You don't pick your own shit. People give you the name.
I can't pay money and rename myself.
That's why I'm the host with no name, because nobody gave me a fucking name yet.
Everybody, you can't pick. You can try or you can act like it, but usually what they think of you is better.
Oh, okay.
Like Random Black Girl. If that was your name, that
would be jacked up. Random Black Girl.
Random Black Girl number 5.
Her name's RBG from now on.
I know you're not. I know you're in Vegas and you're not gonna hang with us that long. I want to thank you for showing up for the show, kinda, sorta.
Hey! I want to thank you for doing the show.
Oh well, thanks. You can pay me, or if you'd like to talk about donations, you can hit us up on the Hype line, which is 442-999-HYPE, or you want to hit us up on email. If you use fucking email, you're lame. But that is the hypepodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook.
Facebook.com/The Hype Podcast. Check us out.
You see how I mentally made him do that?
Yeah, that was nice. It's like you guys have a special relationship.
The force to make me do that.
Yeah, pause on the special relationship. There's no fucking handies going on here. But also, candidate for city council, Fred Stewart, he's in the building today. We're going to get down. Yeah, I've heard our show is kind of political. I was out Friday night and somebody was like, yeah, you guys in those politics. Shit, be aware, motherfucker. Be aware, black man.
Yeah,
was it a black man?
It was a black man.
Okay.
It was a.
You had to school him.
I don't call white dudes black man that often.
You just call them honkies.
I just might.
What?
I do not say. I'll tell you, I don't say honky because the word's not powerful enough. People don't get offended enough. It ain't like when you just bust out with the good old N-word. That clears the stage. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were in a sea of people and you wanted to part that sea of people, especially white folks, and you just said, nigga, boom. The cats that are cool with it will go to one side of the room. The cats that ain't will go to the other side of the room, and you can walk right through. That's how you get front row seats. Don't fuck around. Roll with Fresh.
Well, hey, you know me. You know me. I'll drop the double B anywhere, just like that poor lady in the restaurant.
Yeah. You got the shit out of me. This motherfucker got an issue. I don't know with saying black bitch for shock value. He says it for shock value. Now, he did it on the show once.
He said it to someone?
He said it to a girl on the show.
It said black bitch. Yeah. She didn't cut him?
No. To clear my name, I did not call her a black bitch.
You just said BB.
I simply called her a bitch.
Oh. You throw them blows.
Because she was sitting there Facebooking the whole time during the show.
Were you boring? I mean, if you're boring, we have to draw attention somewhere else.
Nah, she just was not engaged. But you know, she went on to bigger and better things. She's headlining.
Oh, yo, and you will never guess who I kicked it with last night.
Who?
Oh,
so you know him as Bossy. His name is George Bossy. That's his actual name.
Oh, the strip.
And me and him kicked it last night. He actually had the night off, so we went down to the Link Hotel, had some drinks, ran around, did some gambling, and this guy has a brand new 2016 Benz we were rolling around in, and that's like the lowest model car you're gonna find here, like next to a Hyundai. So
he's like the strip club king of Vegas. He comes from Portland,
and he works during the day. Like, he's not even the prime time guy. He works during the fucking day at the strip club, and he's rocking a brand new
I'm taking a shot of Crown for you, Bossy, because fuck.
So now you guys are building.
You know, I'm like Ice Cube. I remember when you drove a B210, motherfucker.
So are you and Bossy best friends now?
Oh, we've been BFFs for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Where have you been?
I don't know. Just trying to figure it out.
I gotta give it to George Bossy. George Bossy is one of those dudes. You probably even know George Bossy because he run around. You know.
I'm thinking about how this goes.
No, you might know. Y'all go to the same. Back in the day, y'all would have went to some of the same spots.
Oh, back in the day.
He's like one of those white boys that be up in a black party and just got hella swag.
Oh, okay.
Swear,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's actually comfortable being there.
Okay.
Dude, hey, I got the lowdown on why Bossy moved to Vegas. Are you ready for this shit? He actually started dating a stripper in Portland, and they came down to Vegas for a vacation weekend.
Hold on, this is legal, right? Because I statute of limitations.
Yeah, exactly. No, so they came down to Vegas for a weekend. She ended up working that one night that weekend and made $2,500 in one night. And they both looked at each other and went, "So we're moving to Vegas," and the rest is history.
And I'm stuck here.
Yeah,
man,
I'm fucking stuck here.
So, host with no name, is that called snitching? Because you telling this man's business?
Yeah, because I mean,
he probably told you out of that confidence that you guys are 10-minute BFFs.
I'm trying to ask what kind of work was she doing?
Oh, you're not supposed to ask that.
You work one night at a job and you go, "I'm moving here." Mm-mm. That was.
We not talking about this man's business no more.
That shit can't be legal.
We not in that.
Hey, no, they know damn well that my entire life is a fucking radio show. So if you're involved in my life, it may fucking be on the show.
Well, you need to.
Everybody who knows me knows
I'm gonna remember not to tell you none of my personal business.
You need to stay gone because the Blazers are up here winning. I think it's you. Right? I think it's you. I mean, it hasn't rained. It's barely rained either. Stay gone.
Are you serious?
You see that Lillard drop?
I heard it was freezing rain the other day.
Yeah, they're lying. No, but Lillard dropped 51. He dropped 51 on Golden State. Did you see that? Do they got they got TV in Vegas?
yeah. No, actually, I don't think they have TV out in Vegas. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you staying
all
at?
They have is some weird fucking college basketball. That shit's ridiculous.
Where are you staying at in Vegas?
At the moment, I'm actually staying in a garden. We did stay at the Paris Hotel, and I mean, technically we didn't stay there because I fucking went to sleep at 6 in the morning and woke up in 2 different places both nights. So
hope you wrapped it up.
Did you wake up with a rubber on?
No. I did wake up with one in my wallet though, so thank God it wasn't used. I'm just saying.
Thank God it wasn't used. What do you mean?
Yeah.
He's going to have a rash when he come back.
No, I'm saying if I held on to a used condom in my wallet as a souvenir, that'd be kind of awkward.
Well, if you because in Vegas you need to use a rubber.
Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna make a baby and leave, people do that in Eugene. That's how it works.
Dude, you can't even touch a handrail in Vegas without getting herpes, dude. So yeah, you basically have to wear a fucking condom everywhere you go.
Now you make me not want to go back to Vegas.
So he's telling us he's gonna have a rash.
If you're going to Vegas, you gotta be a boy in the bubble.
Yeah.
You see, for me, I've been here. I've been local. I was out in Hillsboro last night, and it was very disorganized. It was.
What the hell were you doing in Hillsboro?
I was out this place called The Hangar.
For they had a law against that after I think the 1800s.
Let me.
Black people.
Nah, it was not called the lynching. It was called The Hangar. So I'm out there, and nobody danced. It was fucking horrible. But the bartender came up. They had kinda, my nobody is kind of high. But the bartender came up to me and was like, "This is the best night ever. When you coming back?" I was like, "Nobody."
How many people were there?
There must have been like 100 people there. I mean, Cats was like in and out. When Cats just like, "Oh, I fuck with that one song, and then I'm gonna go back to my seat."
Yeah,
it was a whole bunch of that. And then it's like I would get a couple cats on the floor. I'm like, oh, I could just slam on you. Put that little quick mix. Nah, song to song. Nah, dog, chill out. Nah, it was one of those occasions where I was like, I thought I did a shitty job, but they were like, cool. Yeah. You coming back next week? No, I'm not coming back next week. I got shit to do. Think I want to drive out to Hillsboro just to play a couple songs? And you know damn
well if the price is right, you're going back out there.
Yeah, you are.
If the price is right, I'll be a little bit anywhere. I will DJ in my underwear on the river for the right price.
Oh, wow.
That is not something I want to see. I'll be honest about that.
Now, I got to say, we got to call this the Late Show to all our people on video. Sorry, I've been gazing off. I'm kind of high. But to all our people on video... Sorry, we've been late with the video. We're working on it. It's getting better every week, but I do get the fucking audio to you on Sunday, so don't complain.
And I just want to apologize to all 8 of our fans. You don't get to see my beautiful face on video this week.
Only 8?
So I apologize for that.
No, it's 8 million.
Oh,
he likes to abbreviate.
Only 8.
He likes.
It's like you guys better find another career.
No. He likes to abbreviate. It's 8 million, not just 8. I told you it was 15.
I think the Hype Podcast is the 10th wonder of the world. As a matter of fact,
I think it's one of the most popular podcasts in Portland. And you know what?
Are you guys the only broadcast in Portland?
Nah, we're just.
She said it's the only podcast.
We're just the shit, man.
Okay,
man.
You are the shit,
man. That's why I didn't want her on the show because I knew she cut me up.
If we were the shit, we'd have Damian Lillard on our show.
No, that motherfucker won't call us back. Hey, Fred, is the Moda Center, was that publicly funded?
Yeah.
No. Oh, I can't. I was trying to pull his card.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We pay your salary.
No, hey. If he's dropping 51 points in a fucking game, I understand. He's a little bit busy. He can't come on the show right now. Maybe in the off season we can get him to come sit down for at least 5 minutes
and do one of his flows.
And do it. Yeah, because he raps.
Yeah.
I asked him about his raps, but it doesn't matter who does it. If you drop 51 in a fucking game, what was everybody else doing?
Everybody else was scoring 100 and 100.
I mean, there was a couple cats that were just at the snack bar, just like let that guy go. So this I'm gonna cut your Vegas ass off because I'm kind of upset you're not here. So fuck you. I hope you have a good time. Safe travels.
Yeah, man. We're about to do some day drinking here and then hop on a plane. So hopefully I don't get arrested or escorted off the plane before I get home.
No, last time I flew home from Vegas, I was pretty drunk in the airport on the plane, and when I got to PDX, and nobody said shit. They just woke me up when it was time to move. You'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be good.
just
Learn from Oso. Yeah, just don't get violent. You'll be okay.
Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow.
Reporting live from.
Awesome.
So you gonna give us a Vegas shout out because we about to wrap up the segment, bro.
Hell yeah! This is the Hype Podcast. I am the host of No Name, coming to you live from Vegas, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Yeah, fuck your life. We're out. The Hype Podcast. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Probably.
We rolling.
If it was brothers, I don't know.
When you fucking Ancestry.com over here?
Yeah.
This motherfucker over here trying to validate my shit.
Yeah. Is he trying to hook us up? That's a little weird.
Man, get a fucking needle. Let's do some fucking DNA. Oh, this guy said
I'm
action.
talking about if it was two brothers, it'd be different.
Ew. Keep Portland weird. That's that weird
then
shit.
Maybe, but two sisters, they probably know who your father is.
Yeah.
What? No, they knew.
They knew. Oh, yeah.
They look just alike.
Yeah.
It is the Hype Podcast. We are back. Now this motherfucker tried to disprove my heritage.
Yeah. I said we ain't related.
You ain't related. What kind of shit is that? This is Fred Stewart, and you're running for Portland City Council.
Yes, I'm running for Portland City Council, position 4.
Position 4, and what's entailed in position 4? Because I know Novak has a few things.
Steve Novick. Yes, Steve Novick. Well, you got to remember, Portland City Council is a very unique type of government system. It's the only one like it right now in the United States. Each commissioner runs bureaus, and each commissioner has legislative powers, judicial powers, and executive powers. That means a city commissioner, or any 3 votes city commissioner, they can create policy or an ordinance. They can enforce policy, and they can pass judgment on policy.
Hold on. That's not right.
Yes, it is.
That's not the American way.
Well,
I mean, that's not the way our government was designed.
That's not the way our federal government, but
because
our city government.
There's no checks and balances there.
Well, that's true. The checks and balances are the voters. More than any other city in the United States, more important than any other city in the United States, it is important for people of Portland to vote and vote for people they feel reflect their values, because that is the only checks and balances with the Portland City Council.
How do you feel about the coverage on local politics? Because I find that, I'm a bit ignorant at times, because I can't name everybody on my city council. The people that directly affect me, I don't really know them. I mean, between something happening with Obama and it actually getting to me, that's a ways. But somebody on city council, what they rule on today could affect me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the last 25 years, media has really been backing off on really covering local politics at large.
Shout out to Town Hall. I used to watch Town Hall.
Yeah, we don't have Town Hall anymore. There's a lot of shows we don't have, and there's a lot of journalism assets we don't have in this market anymore either. So you do see a small amount, relatively, of coverage for local politics. It's a good old boy, good old girl system. It is, and that's why with my campaign, we're going out everywhere. When I got invited here, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to come here."
We appreciate having you on.
I appreciate you asking.
I mean, you're first class guest. We did have a candidate for president last week.
Oh, you did?
not the upstage, but we did have a president for candidate last week. So between you and your opponent, I mean, what's the real difference? I mean, you say you'd be the first one to unseat an incumbent in how many years?
Well, you're gonna love this. No black person in Portland history has ever unseated an incumbent, black or white. And we do horrible running against black women, but even that's who we do the most horrible with as far as a black man. But
you can't beat down the sisters.
Sure can't.
Yeah, the difference between me and my opponent is this: I'm from here, and I look at Portland the way I think most people who grew up here or have lived here a long time look at Portland. What propelled me or provoked me to run for city council is I accepted that the people who are there right now are not making decisions based on the values that we all have in this town. They're not inclusive. No. I bet you don't have 10 phone numbers of black people in their Rolodex that are not politically related. You understand? They don't have 10 friends.
I don't know 10 Asians.
Well, I do.
What?
I do.
Not they have their phone number. I mean, I do.
You had. I'm sure you've known 10 female Asians.
You know where I frequent. No.
Yes, exactly. No. I'm sure you have more Asian friends than Steve Novick has black friends. I'm sure you do.
I mean, I haven't seen him down at any of the spots I like to hang,
Well, he's not going to go there. The current city council, they're very monolithic. I mean, they really hang out with people who are like them, unless they need, a black person in the room or something like that. For the most part, they really just hang out together as far as in the same circle of political white people. Good way to say it.
So it's kind of like your house parties? This is something I saw on your site. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do fundraisers and they're called house parties?
Yeah. We do fundraisers and we do house parties. We do both.
Are these private
parties?
You need
a DJ. I DJ too. So, yep. I mean, I'm just trying to get in.
Well,
Are they private parties? Because I haven't heard about these parties.
Well, no. What happens is people, usually they're friends and family. People want to bring me into their home.
Everybody keeps their clothes on.
Okay.
Everybody keeps their clothes on for sure. Definitely. But no, usually people, and we're very thankful for this, they want to bring me in, so they can meet their families and friends and their neighbors. And of course, we ask for support during those house parties. And the support's just not money. I mean, we need money. Every campaign needs money, but we need volunteers. We need other house parties, because the key to a grassroots campaign like this is meeting people and talking and sharing ideas.
So you're saying it's going to take $500,000 for you to win?
It's going to take about $500,000 generally to win. Miracles do happen, but generally speaking, you want to go into a race trying to raise, a race like this about $500,000, especially when you're a minority candidate, because it's just harder.
So for someone that doesn't know about politics, where does this money go?
It goes
to
into
pens,
everything from
paper?
Pens, literature.
I told them to do weed pens.
Yeah,
staff,
you did.
Got a staff, got people who work, in the campaign and move the campaign forward.
I thought that was just your homeboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Spencer's a campaign coordinator. He's the one that keeps us on point.
You better get a free shot of Crown.
Oh, he wants it. He just doesn't want to drink in front of his boss, but it's okay. He's a reedy.
So I do have a major question. So since you're running and you can make change to the community, what big changes are you trying to make?
There's several changes. First, I want to make the city more inclusive. And when I say inclusive, is in their approach to issues. Right now, I've got a city that does not plan for middle income. When I say middle income, I'm not talking about middle class. I'm talking about people just below the middle class and working class and poor people. It just flat doesn't. The less money you make, the less the city notices you, and the less resources the city's willing to invest in you as far as your future. Okay, I want to change that. 2, I want to lower the level of violence in the black community. The black community of Portland is technically, not numerically as far as how many black people have been killed, but when you look at how many black people are in Portland and our average age, we literally have the most lethal black community in the United States of America. We're only 30,000 people, and last year 20 black people were killed in this community. That's to do a comparison. That's like 3 times more than what we've seen in Chicago.
Per capita.
On a per capita.
Okay.
So in other words, on a per capita. So in other words, Chicago is not killing black people out as fast as we are here.
So what are you going to do to change that?
Well, we've got to finally start resolving issues that are still lingering from our grandparents and our parents. If you look at our schools, we have less resources to help black children. Black parents work more hours than white parents. So we got a lot of black kids when they get out of school, and this is a problem too for white kids too, but it's even more a problem for black kids.
No, white kids have iPads.
When they get out of school, what do they do? Where do they go? What do they get involved in? When I was growing up, we called these latchkey kids. We've got a higher percentage of latchkey kids in the black community than the white community because black people have to work harder. We have a higher unemployment rate. That means there's fewer resources for parents to expose their children to a lot of things that, an average white family gets to do. So what I want the city to step in. And that's one of the reasons why I want to create the Portland Youth Bureau, or I should say bring it back. The city of Portland used to have a youth bureau, and it used to invest in children after school and on weekends.
Isn't that what the Boys and Girls Club does?
The Boys and Girls Club does it, but they have resources that are limited, compared to the cities. Same thing to some other organizations. And I'm not looking for the city to outdo them or get rid of them. What the city can do is maybe partner with them and maybe fund some of their programs. Like you mentioned SEI earlier. Mm-hmm. Maybe the city of Portland doesn't have to come in and reinvent anything. It has to add things where things aren't, but it can also support things and make sure there's a security. Because we don't have the traditions that we used to have. I'm talking about when it comes to kids getting involved in the community. Our sports programs in our schools, they suck. They do. And if you are...
shout out to the demos.
Well, no. When I say suck, I'm not talking about the kids
suck. All day.
I'm not talking about the kids suck. Okay. I'm not talking about the coaches sucking. I'm talking about the resources available to them.
Yeah, because
I understand what you're coming from.
So they can go... when I grew up, and it's probably the same with you guys, there was a lot of black guys from the community, and I think this is one of the reasons why we didn't have the violence that we have today. They had things they could get involved in school. Sometimes it was AV, AV, getting involved in AV.
PIC.
Audio, video. PIC, sports, music. Music was a big one. Bands, and right before I graduated high school, then that's when the DJing started coming in. And a lot of guys, if they didn't have these activities to get involved in, they wouldn't even come to school in the first place. They wouldn't have had things to occupy them that were positive after school. You know, I want this youth bureau to bring that back, to bring something so that kids can get involved in and it's secure. Parents know 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is going to be available for our children.
So is there any plans for maybe training programs to make older kids more employable right out of high school?
Well, the youth bureau,
there's definitely education's an issue too.
The youth bureau is just a start. I mean, it's going to start for children starting at about 8 to 18. After we get it going, we may expand it.
Okay.
We may partner up with other people. Right now, it's like our parents used to say, I want to get the foot in the door. I want to bring the city back to used to even thinking about this. Nobody in city council right now is thinking about this at all. They're not thinking about the high level of violence we've got in the black community, the high level now of graduation, not graduation, but people dropping out of school, black or white. There have been times PCC has graduated more people in the GED program than the Portland Public Schools have given diplomas. You know?
I mean, have you been to a Portland public school?
No.
I would go to PCC to get my GED too.
Yeah, but you see, when you're just going, when you're just going for your GED, and it's good. I want everybody to at least have a GED if they don't have their diploma. There's a lot of things that you're not being exposed to at the time in your life when you're supposed to be exposed to it. You know, a lot of interests that you might have. It may be anything from music, to putting on a podcast. While I was watching you guys put this together, I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be great for some sixth graders or seventh graders?
They used to do this in middle school.
Man, fuck that. I ain't toning it down for no kids.
Hey, toning it down. I was cussing worse than you when I was 12, when my mother wasn't around.
So you're selling some big stuff. You say you want to fix the potholes and the bridge.
Yes. Well, the bridge.
I live in Vancouver. Fix the bridge.
No. It's not fix the bridge. I want to add another bridge.
Okay.
But because I just think it's too expensive. There's no way right now I can think of. And if somebody else thinks of an idea to do it, I'll definitely listen, where you can develop the bridge that a lot of very wealthy, very highly educated white people want to build and not make it harder for poor people to live in Portland. Unless you build another bridge, a cheaper bridge, something that is not going to cost, $4 or $5 billion.
They should do a Beaverton bypass.
I've heard about that too, and I'd be open to something like that too. But the problem is, I don't know if you can do that and then still fit within the UGB, the urban growth boundary. But what we should.
You're going for city council? You can get rid of the urban growth boundary.
No, can't. That's Metro.
Oh, okay.
That's Metro. Technically,
I know nothing about fucking local government.
I know.
It is sad, and you could probably question people in the room, and they don't know shit either.
One thing, I hope my campaign helps you start getting interest, because you should be interested. This is your city. This is the politics.
I live in Vancouver, but but hold on, if your rap is good enough, I will register over here and vote.
Well, no, I mean, Vancouver, Portland. If you live in Vancouver, be involved in Vancouver politics. A lot of black people ignore the politics that affect them the most. Federal politics is important. It is. State politics is important. But your local city and county politics, that's the one that affects you more than anything else. It affects your future, your family, future, your kids.
Well, on the state level, what about the minimum wage? I see that.
Well, that passed, but it's not good enough.
It's not good enough?
Well, look, I'm glad they're doing it, and I support them doing it.
We can't all drive Benzes.
No.
Sure
just
can.
saying. Nope. I mean, just because you dip McNuggets doesn't mean that you deserve
my first job,
Audi like Mike.
My first job in 1980, I was paid $3.10 an hour. And if you want to be able to have the same buying power I had as a 15-year-old in 1980, like today, you're looking at about $19.70 an hour. So, in other words, somebody making $3.10 an hour, a poor black person in 1980 has more buying power today. Has more buying power in 1980 than somebody making minimum wage today, and will be have more buying power than where minimum wage eventually gets to $15 an hour in the year 2022. I mean, it's pretty bad. The minimum wage is not kept up with the growth of the economy.
Well, then, I mean, inflation, especially with the fluctuating gas prices. I mean, every time the gas price fluctuate,
that's not the reason.
Everything. I'm just saying.
That's not the reason. Let me explain this to you. Minimum wage kept up with inflation, kept up with the buying power from the 1940s until about 1985. And since 1985, minimum wage has basically fallen way behind, to where in the old days, minimum wage was never meant to be a growth minimum wage. You know what I mean? A wage where you're going to get a minimum wage job, and you're going to go out and buy houses and cars and become wealthy. It's a minimum subsistence wage. It means you can pay for your housing, it can pay for your food. You know what I'm saying? Well, today, a person on minimum wage, they can't do that in Portland. They can't do both. They're going to end up doing neither or just one of them. Mm-hmm. You understand? And that's why the minimum wage, I'm glad they raised it. It's still not high enough, but, it's better than what we got.
Yeah.
It's much better than what we got. But we're still far behind. And when you consider in Portland, 25% or so in one way or another of young black people, especially people under 30, are unemployed. And the ones that do have a job, we have a very high percentage of black people making minimum wage. This is where it really hurts. I mean, the people down in Salem, congratulate them for what they did, but they didn't do black people any favors.
They don't see black people down there. That's the problem. Hey,
That's one of the reasons why I'm running.
You got a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back. It's the Hype Podcast. This is the Hype Podcast. We're back with Fred Stewart. He's telling us about cars, and all you motherfuckers that are moving here, leave your car, bring a bike. That's what Fred said.
Or a skateboard.
Oh, man. So, I really want to ask about some frivolous shit that maybe you could do since you're on city council.
Okay,
I would like for you to bring Beyonce here.
She's having a concert next month.
Well, I'd love to do
2 months.
Here?
No, Seattle, though.
See, you got to bring her here.
I'd ask her to come here. I'd ask her to come here, as long as somebody got the $100,000 to fly her down here.
She expensive.
Oh, I mean, that's a promoter. I mean, do it with. I mean, if Bette Midler can show up in this motherfucker, I can get some goddamn Beyonce.
Well, what's her? Bette Midler.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler. That's Bette Midler. Bette Midler. If my memory's correct, she's got family in Portland, so she probably comes here.
Oh, she was there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I just played the Motor Center. Now I'm going to come home and eat some leftovers.
Probably could do that.
Aunt Louise's house.
that stranger things have happened. Things have happened.
So you say you're from Portland. So you're from the NEP, right?
Yep. Okay. Northeast Portland. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't born here.
Okay.
I came here when I was 11. I was an Army brat. So the first 11 years of my life, I spent living all over the country and in Europe. And then when my mother finally decided she had had enough moving her family around. I got a brother and a sister, brother Anthony, sister Tracy. She moved us here because she wanted roots.
Okay.
And my dad's a career Army guy, so even he liked the idea because we moved around a whole lot. Within 90 days of me being born, I think I was in Europe. It was that fast. And so since then, with the exception of the time I spent in the Marines, I've been in Portland.
Oh, so you're a former Marine?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You keep a passport current just in case you got a deal. I know how politicians be. Now, I want to know your stance on Uber. I caught a little bit of that on your YouTube.
Yep.
So,
well, to me, Uber, it's a lot of mixed emotions. I know a lot of people like Uber a lot, and Uber.
Naeem. Hey, fucking with it.
But what I don't like about Uber is they've been given an unfair advantage to compete against cab companies, and they've also eventually going to make it very, very difficult for somebody to come up with a way to compete with them. I
have to disagree because if cab companies looked at that infrastructure and put that in place,
well,
I mean, come on.
Let me explain something to you.
Because I hate
the cab companies have wanted to make a lot of changes that Uber is doing. The reason why they didn't do it was the city council wouldn't let them do it. And then when
they wouldn't let them make an app.
They wouldn't. Hold on. You gotta remember, the app has to be approved. Hold it. It's not that you can't make an app. Make all the apps you want. Yeah. You got to get it approved.
Not by city council.
Yes, you do. It's a regulated body.
I call Apple and
why do you think Uber had to make an agreement with the city? And I'm glad the city made an agreement. I think this app is the direction to go. But if you're going to open it up for Uber, open it up for the cab companies.
So you got to run this back. So the city council is blocking Radio Taxi from having an app as good as Uber.
I'm sure they're going to stop doing that now. I'm talking about when all this stuff went down. Okay, they're beginning to make changes right now because this is an election year. You know what I mean? So let's go back to 2012, 2013 when all this stuff was coming together.
I just can't side with the guy that chose not to invest.
Well, no.
I mean, that's
it's not. Hey, you can invest all you want, but if you can't use it, what does it mean? I feel what the city should have done is just open up the gates. The moment Uber came knocking on the door, said, "We're going. We've made a mistake. We've unfairly limited the market, share and the way the cab companies approach the market. This is a great opportunity for us to open it up. We're going to let that app in. Cab companies, you want your app? Bring your app in. You know what I mean? We're not going to put any limitations on how many cab drivers. A lot of people don't know that for years the cab companies were limited to about 150 cars each, whereas now Uber has got over 6,000 people.
6,000 people employed. They're employed.
Have you used it?
No, I haven't used it.
Oh, it's quick, but
no, I
you'll never call a cab again.
But everybody,
it'll track the little thing on the screen, shows you where the car is. It's around the block.
See, I drive a BMW X5, so I just.
You should be an Uber driver.
No. I don't want strange people
more money
in my
for
car.
Your campaign.
I don't want strange people in my car.
Oh, what's more money for the campaign?
No.
I'm a DJ. Sometimes I like some strange in my car.
No.
On a Saturday night, strange is cool.
But when it comes to Uber, and this is why you should pay attention to local politics, the problem isn't just Uber. It's how they were brought in from our city. It's how our city has basically put barriers to local small businesses being able to have the same advantages as a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I just have to disagree. I think they should have changed up their business model. I think the cab companies are being left behind.
No, you're right.
Because
you're right.
It's a better service.
But I want you to catch this point. You can only change your business model when you're a cab company if what?
If the city approves.
If the city approves. That's what I mean. The city, the fair thing to do for the city should have been, okay, cab companies, anything you want, let me know. We're gonna open this mug up. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it fair for everybody. You wanna?
This is America. Fuck fair.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. A playing field. Government's role is to make sure there's at least somewhat of an even playing field. You know what I'm talking about?
Somewhat, unless I got a guy like you.
It's gonna be even.
If I got a friend,
you're talking to a guy who's the grandson of a bootleg cabber in Portland, Oregon. One of my grandfather's many hustles here in Portland, Oregon was
statute of limitations. Cool. I think it's been a while.
Well, no, up until about 1968, 1969, the city of Portland. And this will understand how powerful the city of Portland is. The city of Portland prohibited black people from being cab drivers in Portland, Oregon.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually Portland law. So cab companies were prohibited from hiring black people. This was a city council ordinance. You understand? So this isn't just...
That's why I don't trust black cabbies.
What?
So what Portland had...
No sin, Jerome, again.
So what Portland had, it was probably a lot like that too. What Portland had was a group of black guys. They called them bootleg cabbers. And they were cab drivers. They were just on the down low.
Oh, that was a real term. I thought you made that up.
No, it was a real term. They called them bootleg cabbers.
That kind of feels like Uber.
Yeah. But no, I think, like I said, Uber...
It's okay when it's in your pocket.
No, I think Uber can be a very good thing for this market. And I just want the city council, if I get on there, the city council is going to do it. It needs to open up the gates. Say, everybody, if you're a cab company, you want to start a cab company, you understand? These are our guidelines, and these guidelines are equal. You know what I'm talking about? And if you want to partner up with Lyft, or you want to partner up with Uber, or you want to partner up with Broadway or somebody, you guys all got the same rules, period.
I guess if you keep it fair. So you already have some buddies on city council. I mean,
none. If I could run against all of them, I would.
Are you cool with the mayor?
No.
You don't mess with the Hill?
No.
You don't like Adams either?
No. Come on.
I follow Adams.
Adams threw Derek Foxworth under the bus for having sex with a white woman.
Oh, yeah.
While he is a high school kid.
Whoa.
In City Hall. Give me a break.
Well, your campaign manager just shifted in his seat when he said.
No, that's what he was doing. No. To me, that whole issue.
Fred needs his cake.
That whole issue crystallizes the racial divide in Portland, Oregon. I got a gay white guy, who's the closest thing to a minority at the time on city council, can allow a black man to be persecuted for having sex with a white woman while he is out having sex with a high school kid in City Hall. I mean, I'll never forgive him for doing that. Never.
You got to run a smoke screen.
Never forgive him for doing that.
He played politics a little better.
No,
he stated they didn't impeach him.
No. This is not playing politics better. This is not. This is flat out racism. Period. We had a black police chief, Derek Foxworth, lose his job for having sex with a white woman 5 years before.
Yeah.
5 years before. We're not talking about while he's police chief. We're talking 5 years before. And he said, anytime somebody embarrasses the city, they need to go.
She's just
what is more embarrassing? A black guy having sex with a white woman or a white guy having sex in City Hall with a high school kid?
I'd say the high school kid thing.
Okay.
I mean, because that sounds like a porn tape right there.
Exactly. No, I mean, don't get me going on it. It was one of those moments that said to Fred that Fred, you definitely one day you have to run.
And the white
my
guy,
city, as racist as and there is racism out there, my city is not that racist. You understand? But the problem is there is nobody.
You said your city is not?
No. Not as racist as that moment.
That moment.
I was about to say, because your city is pretty fucking
racist.
No, let's keep it 100 up in this motherfucker.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is, on city council, there was nobody there. That showed me right there. There was nobody on city council that would step up and defend the liberties of anybody not white. Period.
I don't know the city council. So what is the racial makeup? Or is it all?
They're all white.
They're all white.
They're all white. And
no Latinos,
they're all white.
No Asians.
They're all white, and most of them didn't live in Portland in 1990. Most of them didn't.
Oh,
none of them went to a Portland high school. Not one.
None of you guys were here when the Blazers were good.
None of them. No, they moved here after.
When we had the squad,
they moved here after the Blazers got
yelling
good.
Rip City, but they don't know what it's about.
Yeah, no, they learned it all by
Shout out to Jerome Duckworth.
No, I mean, like I said, they're completely unlike any your average Portlander that grew up here. They're white people that have extremely few relationships with people that are not white, especially black people. Extremely few. And your average white person, especially an average white person that grew up here in Northeast Portland, at least has a few good friends that are not white.
Yeah.
But you get these people who what I call our legal aliens getting on our city council. They have no real connection to the community outside the white people that they know that helps them do politics. They really have no connection to Portland. They have no relevant caring about our histories, our shared histories, or anything.
That's a good hustle.
It's not a hustle. It's true.
I mean, I'm just saying it feels like a hustle. I mean, when you break it down, it is a hustle. I move into town. I get on city council. Fuck knowing a black guy.
Exactly. I mean, they've done nothing. I mean, think about it. We've got all these young black people. We've had over 500 of them murdered since August of 1988. We've only had 300 white people killed for any reason, but we've had over 500 young black men. No, and since 1988. No, but we're living in a city with almost 400,000 white people and 30,000 black people. 300 white people have been murdered. Over 500 black people. I mean, somebody would be upset, at least, if somebody would just say, we got to do something to stop this. Because black lives do matter. You know what I mean? Black people do matter. We got black people right now who are basically fighting over crumbs because they don't know anything different. They haven't been shown anything different. And people on city council and people in our government have the opportunity and the power to do that. They do, but they won't. Because
it's not in their interest.
It's not in their interest. Dead black people is a good thing for a lot of these folks.
So throughout Oregon, you feel like we're just underrepresented, and
throughout Oregon. But I'm more worried about Portland because I live in Portland, and 95% of the people that I love and will give my life for live in Portland. So I'm working on Portland first, and that's why I'm glad to come on your show because I want more people, black and white, our white friends that see this and don't know where to begin. Black people who don't feel like they can change anything, I'm saying you can. You got to step into it. These guys get away with doing what they're doing because they don't feel anybody's going to stop them.
Yeah, I got to let the Asians and Latinos know you're cool with them, too. It's a rainbow
Oh, they
thing.
know that.
It's a rainbow thing.
It is. No, it is.
I just want to say,
but right now, the people who are the most underserved are the black people. I mean, we haven't had... I want you to think about this. 500 black people, young black people, under the age of 25, or I should say 25 years old average. So there's a lot of them under 25 killed in Portland since 1988. That's more black people than we lost from Portland in World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, and the last two wars combined.
That would be bigger than some graduating classes.
Exactly. No, we don't graduate 500 people, let alone black people, in any of our high schools. We don't have any of our high schools graduating 500 people.
Oh, you got to fix that shit too. I'm tired of going to the Coliseum. Move that shit over to the motor. I got to go up in there. It smells musty and shit. I will elect you for that shit because
everybody likes the Coliseum.
Fuck that. The city still owns the Coliseum, right?
Still owns it. Okay. And there is an effort to get rid of it. And, there's a lot of good arguments to get rid of it. But every time I see the Coliseum, it's always a mixed bag for me.
To get rid of it.
Because the Coliseum was actually used to try to push black people out of Portland. That used to be a black community. Black people owned that land. They owned the homes over there.
I thought you were going to say they put them all in there and tried to set it on fire.
Or something weird.
I seen it on The Walking Dead. I'm sorry.
I got to tell you, don't be surprised if they had thought of it. They may have tried it.
So they want to demolish it? Is that what they're trying to do?
Well, there's some people who demolish it because they really don't know what to do with it. Really right now.
Just like the empty schools. They don't know what to do with those.
Okay. Yeah, they don't know what to do with those.
More wasting of money.
Yeah, more wasted of money. More wasted of money. I mean, what do you do with an old, arena like that, an auditorium like that? I mean, nobody wants to play in it. The Blazers aren't going to play in it. We don't have, a very effective, D-League, basketball team to go in there.
Make it a Costco.
Hockey doesn't want it.
A Costco?
That'd be a big ass Costco.
That would be a big ass Costco, but it would also
2 levels, motherfucker.
I bet it would cost $50 million just to retrofit it to a Costco. No, it's probably just cheaper to tear it down and start over.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of wasted money.
Well, it's the wasted money that some people are talking about. And like I said, I'm not making any conclusions yet. It costs about $1.5 million, $2 million a year to rent it. Paying for everything involved.
Or you could revamp it and turn it into a job source or an activity place for kids.
Because there's only 5 motherfuckers at those winter hot games.
Yeah. Well,
you can get up close.
It could be repurposed. I think it should be looked at. It should be looked at. It wouldn't offend me if it was basically given back to the black community because it was the land that the black community had in the first place.
So then, who's going to have control of it? Because you're black, you can have it.
No. I mean, I'd like to see some. I'd like to see some
reparations.
I'd like to see some black business guys come together and try to put something together. I get a lot of people like Tavis Miller and others who keep saying they're looking for a venue to bring black entertainment into Portland and stuff like that. And I go, maybe this thing could be repurposed.
So we got 1 minute left. Why don't you give us a 1 minute stump?
1 minute stump? Okay, that's gonna not be hard at all. The reason why I'm running is simple. I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of yelling. I want to be one of the people that are doing and pushing and supporting. I want to be that example that I'm not seeing on city council today. The city council we got today is not inclusive. Period. It's not inclusive in many levels, not just with black people. But make no mistake, black people are the least represented in every aspect of the future of Portland, Oregon. Planning, accepting where we're at today, trying to deal with problems of the past. And it also hurts me that we're just allowing our young black people to kill themselves out because they don't know anything better. The most violent, most lethal criminals in the city of Portland right now are black men. Period. And we've created this. And we've allowed the people we vote for to let this happen and do nothing about it. And when I say nothing about it, yes, we got to put some people in prison. There's some people we're never going to be able to reach. But we got all these young people coming up that we could save, that we could reach today. So they don't go into this hell. You understand? So they don't go in this direction. Because black people like them were not born this way. You understand? Their environment made them this way. And it's almost like every time I hear of a young black guy getting killed, I'm pissed off in 2 things. I'm mad at the black guy that killed him. I just want to tear him apart because they've given the racist white people what they want. I'm also upset with the people we vote for because they failed us again. Another black life is gone. And to me, that's worth something. I think all lives matter, but we don't feel that.
But especially the black motherfuckers.
Exactly. No, I mean, all lives matter. So anyway, I'm running to represent everybody, to bring this city back to the values of what I think people have been working for years, what people struggled for, protested for, gave up a lot for.
Hold
we
on,
want a more
pause just a
inclusive
second.
city.
Can you reset that real quick? You got enough for one more? I'm just gonna do enough to wrap it up.
No, he was doing good, so.
Okay.
No, because I really wanted to play "It's Time to Go." Like it looked like we were gonna be out of time.
Nope, I was just saying, wrap it up.
Oh, keep on going. I mean, get your flow on. I hate to fuck you up in the middle of the cipher.
No, I mean pretty much I was done when he stopped it. So I pretty much said everything.
I gotta say pause because when I said stump, I paused. It wasn't nothing funny. This is the Hype Podcast. I want to thank you, Fred Stewart, for coming on. Mm-hmm. Man, you have more to say than our presidential candidate.
Well, I'm talking about my hometown. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
I would be just like him if I was running for president. I would have even less to say.
I gotta say, Fred said he didn't know he was gonna be on video, so Fred had to go home. He got this medium sweater and the polo. We doing some Republican shit over here, even though Democrat. Sorry, all right, gotta be a Democrat because I'm black. That's the way they tell me.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
Oh, Fred Stewart, hold this up. Fred Stewart, this is the Hype Podcast. Get in touch with us.
Bye, Felicia.
Done deal.